this is Angela. I've just come across what I think is a really good idea. I was so excited to share it. I filmed it as I went along. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I feel it's turned out really well, and I'm going to make a waterproof backpack from a piece of plastic. So I collect plastic anyway, so basically for eco bricks, or I just don't want to throw it away. I don't want to make it single use, so I reuse things like bread bags and plastic bags for the freezer over and over and over again, for sandwich bags, all sorts of things. I try not to throw them out, so I have got quite a big collection of what I call nice thick big plastic for things like possibly making cold frames, any sort of ideas that I get. But I came across this idea by accident. I just went with it and I happened to film it. So I hope you enjoy my video about making a plastic backpack cover. Right, this is my 20 litre backpack. I don't have a handbag, I just take this backpack everywhere I go. It's got a handy zip across the front there. It's got a hole there for water straw you can drink. I don't actually use that. It's got two very useful side pockets. I nearly always got something in there. I've got a recycle bag in there. And I'm going to Wales in about 10 days time. I do have a backpack cover which was advertised as waterproof. It's very lightweight and it's reflective and it fits well, but it is definitely not waterproof. So because we're going to Wales, it's likely to be quite damp, I'm going to have a go at making a different backpack cover that's waterproof. I don't mind if it's not reflective, but I do want it light. So I'm going to have a go and I'll let you know how I got on. My husband has a collection of backpacks. These are two of them. I think he's got 4 altogether. This is a gull one. It is actually waterproof. He's had it for about 15 years and that's really lasted really well. It's light coloured, it's small and compact, so sometimes we use a small one if we're going on a trip where we don't need to carry very much. This is another one that he has. It's a 25 litre. He likes this one because it's got lots of you call it something, but you hook things onto it. I can't quite remember what it's called, but I will tell you later in the video. So what I would like is for the backpack cover that I'm going to make is to cover all the different size backpacks. So if we end up just taking one, maybe this bigger one, then we can have it to cover that as well if it's wet. Right, I have a habit of not throwing away any plastic. If I can't reuse it 10 times, then I have to cut it up and put it in my eco bricks. So this is my bag of plastic bags. It's a nice strong little one. So I'm going to look through here, see if I can find anything big enough to make the backpack cover with. Right, this is the pile of no's, and this is the possibles. Right, first of all, I'm going to release the pressure for the string that goes right around the edge of the bag, and I'm going to undo the knot so I can spread out the bag as much as it will go, so I can actually measure it and see what size plastic I'll need. Plus I'll have to add a bit around the plastic to turn it round, probably about 5 centimetres, 2 inches, 2.5 inches. When I've done that I'll show you. Right, I've opened it out as much as I can. It's a bit like a box lid shape. It's actually got a seam just here. It's got 4, one in each corner, which makes it stand up like that, look, in a box lid shape. So I'll have to accommodate that in the design of my plastic cover. I'm going to unthread this black elastic wire to reuse that, because it's got, that's how you put it in through there, through that hole. That's how I'm going to redesign the next one. And I can also, if the plastic one I'm going to make breaks, then I can reuse this one and thread it through. Although this isn't waterproof, I'm not sure, I might find a way of possibly making it waterproof as well as a spare, but at the moment it's really not very good. So I'm going to make the plastic one and borrow this string. That's the plan. Right, the corner seams are 5.5 inches or 15 centimetres. Write that down. When it's all laid out, it's gonna have a box lid shape like that, and that bit there is going to be the 15 centimetres. I just double check that. Twice measured, once cut. Yeah, it's about 14 centimetres, but 15 centimetres plus a little bit to turn over. It's actually 2.5 centimetres, so you want double that to go that side. That's 5. Oh no, you just want that. You want 15 plus 5 plus a bit to turn over again, then say another 1. So 6. So plus 6. 15 plus 6. When you actually cut it, you actually want to the cutting line 21 centimetres. Okay, this is just a preliminary one, so I shall double check as well before I actually cut my precious plastic. I'll take the other measurements now. Right, from corner to corner, it's 65 centimetres about. That's the bit down the side of the backpack. So that's 65 centimetres there to there. See, down the long side. And across the top, from corner to corner, is actually quite tight so that it's a true measurement. The backpack fits quite loosely, so if it's not exact, it's not the end of the world. That's actually 40 centimetres across the short bit. Right, from the measurements, because I didn't allow so much turnover at the sides as well, in the corners, I have to use the biggest bit of plastic I've got, which is a really good thick piece. Unfortunately, I think it's a little bit short at the edges for the turnover, but as it's quite a loose fit on our backpacks, I'm not going to worry too much because I think that will still be just what I need. So I'm going to have a go. As you can see, it's just a bit of a squeeze in there with the turnover at the edges. I'm going to give this bit of plastic my best shot. I think I'm going to have to cut it very carefully around the edges to make it one flat piece. Right, as you can see, it's got 2 tiny holes in it, but that's not going to bother me because it's still going to be a lot better than the one I've got. And that's it, cut out into a big rectangle shape. I'm not going to actually cut up the cover because I want to be able to have a go at making it waterproof and keeping it as well, so that's why I've redesigned it and not just cut apart the one that I've got, because I want to hopefully have both. And just to let you know, the bit around the outside that you have to add on is not 6 centimetres, it's going to be 4 centimetres to fold over. So I measured again, luckily, and because I measured twice, I'll only cut the once. I will put this down below as well, so those that have followed from the beginning to make one and have done 6 centimetres, at least it's too much, you could just trim it down a bit if you've already done 6 centimetres extra. Right, when you sew the corners of the box lid together to make it the box lid shape, like that, you have to have a little bit of seam where you sew it together there in the corner, probably about 1 centimetre on each side. So I've had to add that to the dimensions of the piece of plastic that I need to cut to be the same size as the cover that I've got. So I've had to add an extra 1 centimetre on each bit of. This means that the bottom should be 40 centimetres plus 1 centimetre each side to sew the corners of the box up to make it like a box lid, plus the overlap, which is 15 centimetres, plus 4 centimetres for the string as it folds over for the string to go through. So we're at 4 plus 15 plus 1 plus the 40 at the bottom plus another one for the sewing line, 15 centimetres and then 4 centimetres again, and altogether that does not come to 78, it comes to 80 centimetres. And the side, that comes to 65 centimetres for the actual length we measured, plus 1 centimetre each side to sew to make it up into a box lid shape, plus 15 centimetres for the depth of the box lid, plus 4 centimetres each side for turning it over to thread the string through, which does not come to 98 centimetres, it comes to 1 metre. I think I'm a little bit short with my plastic, but I'll just see. Right, here's my black plastic. I need 80 by 1 metre, 80 centimetres by 1 metre. I think I'm just a little bit short. Just hold it there. Right, it's actually 78 centimetres, so I'm 2 centimetres short. So I'll have to adapt my pattern to be very slightly narrower. And let's see if we've got a metre down the side. It would be lovely if we did, but let's just have a hold it at the end with my elbow. It's a bit tricky holding the camera. And it's actually 1 metre 5, so I've got plenty of length, that's good. Right, so all I've got is 2 centimetres short down the bottom, which I'll adapt to. So that's pretty good, that's a pretty good adaptation. Now I'll have a go at cutting the plastic and having a good think about what I can do about the 2 holes that are in it. I think I might be able to use gaffer tape to cover those. Right, I've drawn where I'm going to cut, look, right the way along there, because even though you want to guess, it's always best to draw the line nice and straight, otherwise it's surprising how crooked you can. I've just learned a really useful tip while doing this. I cut 2 little bits of squares of gaffer tape to cover up the holes in the plastic with these scissors, and then I couldn't actually cut the side of the plastic because they were just so sticky they wouldn't do it. So I thought there was something wrong with the scissors, as in they were blunt. So I put some washing up liquid on the open blades and then I clean them with this, and oh my goodness, what a difference to how the scissors work. I know this might not be very bright of me, but that's made such a difference. So if you've got any scissors at home that don't cut very well, try giving them a really good clean with some wire wool. It's worked really well for me. Right, the corner square that you need to cut out is going to need to be, if you can do it to my original, to copy the original backpack cover, you're going to need to cut 20 centimetre by 20 centimetre corner out of the plastic. For me, I've had to reduce it by 1 centimetre on the narrow end because my plastic is not quite big enough. So I've got a 19 by 20. So for the 20 centimetre, measure 20 centimetres across the bottom and do a little mark with the pen. Then measure 20 centimetres roughly about where you think it's going to be up and do another mark, okay, in where my thumb is. And for me I have to do this bit 19, but you can do it 20 centimetres up there, 20 centimetres along the side, and if you do nice big lines across here, you'll find they meet in exactly the right place for you. And then what I do is draw along the side of my box lid here that I've recycled to use a cereal packet. There we go, cereal packet. and you can use that to make nice straight lines to cut out the corner there that you need. Okay. You could of course also make a 19 by 20. For me it would be 19 by 20, or for you, if you've got a bigger bit of plastic, a 20 centimetre by 20 centimetre square out of a piece of cardboard, and use that to put into the corners and draw around. So that's a bit of an easier way of doing it. I actually made a little bit of a muck up because the end of the plastic's curving under a little bit, so it did make it a bit tricky for me to measure. So you can do it that way. There we are, and then you cut out the corner piece. You do that for all 4 corners. Right, all I've done is cut the corner pieces out and put gaffer tape over the 2 holes. Right, much as it would be a nice design feature, I'm going to leave the gaffer tape on the inside of the backpack so it doesn't show. I need to now sew these 2 together. So fold it over like that. Make sure it's nice in the corner there. One piece here will be longer than the other in my case because I've got a 19 and a 20 centimetre, but yours will match exactly if you've done it 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. So I'll make sure that lines up quite beautifully. Then I will sew down there, quite close to the edge, about a centimetre I've allowed on my measurements. So I'll sew down there. I'm going to have a think because I might actually put gaffer tape on and then sew it, or I might sew it and then put gaffer tape on. Watch this space, see what I end up doing. I'm using 100% polyester thread just because it's stronger. Any colour will do because it's not going to show. I took the grey one out and put a pink one in just so that it just make a feature of it being, you know, like made out of rubbish. I'm very proud of it. Right, I've decided to sew along the corner seams, but you could, if you work say in the catering industry, put a heat seal strip across there where you sort of like put it in and clamp it down to melt it together. It depends what your job is, what resources you've got available. You could possibly over sew it by hand. Use whatever you can. I'm very fortunate to have a sewing machine, so I'm actually machining my bits. Right, that's the corners done. That's my box lid shape. I've just sewn them at the moment, but I think I'm going to reinforce them with gaffer tape as well. Right, now I'm at the point where I want to make a little tube, if you like, all the way round to put the thread through to draw it up for the backpack. Now, as I've pinned it, but as I'm going to sew it, I need to make sure that the tubing space is actually going to be wide enough for me to thread this safety pin through with a string attached so it can go all the way through with a bit of ease, because it's going to be a little bit tricky because it's plastic and it's not that flexible, so it'll take me a while to get the string through. So make sure that this bit is wide enough for the string to go through as you sew it as you go along. Right, I'm starting to sew halfway down the side because I need to leave a gap of about that much between my 2 fingers so that I can get the thread in and out, so there's a gap to put the thread in. And I don't want that at the top because the water might go in. I don't want it at the bottom either because it will take probably a bit more weight at the bottom of the backpack. So I'm going to do it the side. I'm going to leave the gap start and finish along one of the sides and leave a gap about that long. Well, I've done it. My right thumb aches while I was pushing the safety pin through with the thread, but I've done it. That's where it comes out there. Look. We can gather it up now, fit it on a backpack. On the minus side, my machine played up a little bit with the tension, so it was a bit tricky at times sewing around the edge, so I had to re-thread it a few times. I found a good quality thread worked much better than a cheaper one. This gathers up now nicely. I'm going to put it on the backpack to show you. Because it tucks up in the corner, look, like a box lid, you could probably use this as a cover for a wood pile. Put it over this way if you're wild camping. You keep anything dry, or you could use it that way and collect water. you'd maybe have to put it in a bit of a dip and a hole so it curves up at the sides a bit to catch water in the middle. So it's got quite a lot of uses as well as a backpack cover. You could make it out of, I guess, a plastic tablecloth. That would be light, one that's got a hole in it or is all stained. Certainly a design feature when you're out for a walk. You could make it out of... You can actually buy some plastic fabric that you can get as a tablecloth that comes by the metre. You could use that, although it would be quite thick and heavy, so that would probably be a bit more tricky. But this is light and it's quite strong because it's a parcel bag. You could use a see-through one, I guess, as well. Make it even a bit smaller for a child's backpack cover, for waterproof cover, if you live in an area that's prone to a lot of rain. But I'll try it on the backpack now and I'll show you what it looks like. I've just got it on. This is how it fits. It looks like a very good fit indeed. I'm very pleased with it. I put a nice sort of stuff in it because I've nearly always got a lot of stuff of it in it. I cycle to work and I use this backpack, and I usually have to take a change of clothes, my packed lunch, a towel, so it's nearly always full of stuff, and that I've filled that with stuff and it's beautiful. I'm so excited. My stuff's going to stay dry when I go for my nice long walk in Wales. I only meant to fix my brakes this morning, tighten them up, and when I was in the bike bag looking for the spanner to tighten up the brakes, I come across the backpack cover. That's what made me decide, well actually, I just think I'll randomly try and make another one. So that's what I've taken up the whole morning doing. I better actually crack on now with the things that I'm supposed to be doing. It's my day off, so I'm supposed to be cleaning up and going to the shops. Takes a while to put the back cover on, so don't wait till it's absolutely tipping with rain, but I think it's a very good fit. Weight of the backpack cover is approximately, look, 75 grams.